sovereignty belongs to the people. That's section 14. However, right now, the judges have toppled the people. It is a judicial coup in the name of, under the guise of rule of law.
Wike must by now be regretting why he dared Professor Omde Kalu. If he's in talking term with Erofai, he should put a call across to him to find out how Prof dealt with him when he wanted to intimidate Prof Omde Kalu. Prof is a human rights activist that deals with facts. He deals with facts. He doesn't criticize for just criticism's sake. He deals with facts. It will even take you back, to the past with figures when other judiciary did the right thing at a time that our judiciary had shame, unlike what we have currently. And to Revelation, it reveals how our judiciary in the past, they have so much shame to the extent they will never be allowed to be seen with politically exposed persons. Unlike what we have now, that they are openly displayed to our face, that they own the judiciary in their pocket. Imagine what we have in our current day under Tinubu, under Pablo Escobar, under T-Pain, that you see our judges, starting from the CJN, the number one custodian of law in our country, CJN, openly fraternizing with politically exposed persons. What are they directly trying to say? They are trying to tell litigants that if you have cases in their court against this politically exposed person, they stand no chance in winning against them. This is a slap on our judiciary, a slap on the nation, and a shame. This brings us back to Wike. Prof. Omde Kalu, reprimanded Wike, saying that he shouldn't be seen openly fraternizing with, judicial officer, like what he did with the CJN. Taking the lands that belongs to Julius Berger and giving it to this judiciary, and the CJ was there in the so-called of Sword or whatever. Prof simply rebuked Wike that he shouldn't be seen openly giving cars, giving lands, houses to judicial officers. He shouldn't be seen doing that, because this somebody that have cases in many courts, in their court. They are trying to tell you that there's no hope for them. Just before I proceed, permit me to ask you Nigerians. Okay, let me ask you this. What happened? That there's, according to Wike and the Pablo Escobar T-Pain, according to them, they are doing this to make judiciary happy. Don't forget that these same people increased judiciary, they increased their salary early this year by 300%, not 100%, not 200%, not 300%. Their salary was increased 300%. The question I want to ask, was that done to our teachers in the country? Our teachers that lecture, our lecturers that even lecture, even the lawyer that now grow up to become, that now become judges and the rest. Was that same thing done to them? Their salary increased by even 100% or 200%? Was it done? Was it done to our medical doctors who are running away from the country? To understand, they are trying to put laws to say that these people shouldn't go to the country of their choice to make ends meet. Please, was this also done to them? Was this done to other civil servants? Why the judiciary giving houses, increasing their salary, doing this thing, giving the housing, giving the cars? Okay, was this same cars given to our teachers and lecturers? Was it given to them? Please, was it given to our daughters? Our healthcare is currently the worst in the continent, dilapidating on daily basis. Was this given to them? Please, can somebody please help me ask these people? Was it given to them? Why is so much emphasis on judges? Why not teachers? Why not doctors who are saving our health? Why not lecturers who are educating our children? Why the focus on judicial? Simply because they did their business by giving the nation to them. They didn't win election, it was given to them. And they are still doing it. That's what they are still doing in every state now. And you want to tell me that Nigeria can ever move forward like this? It's not possible. Can never be possible. Wike is a litigant in many courts. By doing all these things, doing that, giving cars and houses, to lands, to judges, he's openly telling his political opponent, which court in this country are you going to get judgment against me? Which court? That's what he's just simply telling them. Which court are you going to get judgment against me? I have the judiciary in my pocket. Is it like that's a fact? This is exactly what Prof. Odikalu said. That Wike currently he has, the judiciary in his pocket, and on the side of the CJN, he was, he expressed his huge disappointment where CJN sat down, where Wike was openly bragging how he took the land that was allocated to Julius Berger, and the CJN sat down there. So what that means is Wike, in connivance with the judiciary, actively, participated in the recovery of a land that belongs to Julius Berger. How possible is it for Julius Berger to ever get justice in any court in Nigeria? How possible it is? So because of the reprimand of Prof. Odikalu, Prof. Odikalu, many lawyers in the country, they are now joining the fray, to call at the CJN and Wike. Femi Falana recently blew out on an interview he had on Channels TV, saying that the CJN shouldn't be seen, fraternizing with politically exposed person. We'll see that in a moment. But first, let's see what Wike did that made him, to quickly rush and call a press conference. So after this led to led to the backlash that Wike started receiving from different quarters, different corners. So he quickly called this press conference to exonerate himself, to say that all the gifts that he's been seeing, houses, lands, and the rest that is being given to judicial officers, that is not his idea, that is Tinubu's idea.
It was approved by Mr. President, sent to the National Assembly in 2024 budget, that there should be construction of judges and justices' quarters. That they must move judges from where they are renting houses. They don't even know where they are living. Where they are living among criminals. We rented houses where the landlord will say, look, you have not paid. Leave. It's embarrassing. A policy anybody should commend Mr. President. I'm only the implementer.
When asked by journalists that there is allegation that is, grabbing land from people and giving it to his friends, he had this to say.
The allegation is that you are planning to use those land as settlements for your friends.
Yeah, what's that? Yes, what's that? So what's that? That I have something to give to my friends, I will give it to my enemies. What rubbish is that? Please, you see, I tell you before all this. So you, as you sit down here now, I should bring my enemies. No, tell me that I should. See, I do the right thing. It doesn't matter what anybody says. My conscience says, look, what am I doing? Am I right?
One thing people must understand, there is power and effect in opposing the government. The problem I notice in Nigeria is that a lot of persons easily give up. They'll say, no this, no that, no. There is power. If I tell you guys the truth, if we all join our voice together, come out and mass to fight this government, they don't have a hiding place. You understand? Wanna make Wike to be on hot seat to quickly call a press conference to try to exonerate himself. By so doing, he expose himself the more because of the backlash he received from the people and from the public. This is the reason Nigerians, we must all stand up to support intellectuals. Stand up to support those you see who are speaking where you cannot speak. Those who have platform to confront the government, you can't. Imagine someone come to my one of my posts of recent. I didn't remember when I screenshot his name and pop up post it here. The guy said, that's how you gave us last season. He was using insulting words and the rest. I think I deleted him or I blocked him already because as far as I'm concerned, this guy, he lack wisdom. If somebody who is not in Nigeria, not directly suffering what you are suffering, as much as you have people there who are suffering though, is fighting like this vigorously. Imagine you from your head, you are fighting. You watching this, you are fighting by sharing this video massively. Some of you think you are doing us a favor. If the likes of Professor Odikalu, Femi Falana, and the rest are not come out to start calling that Wike, calling that Judiciary, letting these people know, no, this you are doing is wrong, telling it to their face, say it to the world, and the world is taking note of it. You think Wike would have been on hot seat like this to call a press conference to explain himself, and by so doing, expose himself the more. The time has come. All of us will come out from our comfort zone and speak out, because if not, the way this country is going, nobody will survive. Imagine last year, INEC conducted an election with so many intellectuals involved, but still they stole the election. The participants, like the likes of Wike and the rest, the likes of Peter Obi and the rest, went to court. But guess what? A judicial coup was conducted. And the likes of Prof. Odikalu come out now to reprimand the judicial. Enough is enough. And some are still keeping mute and still in the comfort zone. No, the time has come. All of us have to speak out. Let me ask you this question before I proceed. Do you think if Prof. Odikalu didn't come out now to call out Wike, you understand? Didn't come out to call out the judiciary, do you think Wike would have had little shame to call press conference to try to exonerate himself? Wike would have not done that. He would have continued going around bragging, saying, I will do and not do, and nothing will happen. But at least it was little shame he had that made it to call the press conference to try to lie to Nigeria and exonerate himself. But by so doing, as far as I'm concerned, he exposed himself the more. This is the exact action that is making all the appointees of this government going about bragging, doing what one want to do, and also going on a campaign mood. Just imagine what the NSA do about what a shame. He came out, instead of telling the people what they are doing about insecurity, how to tackle insecurity, he started praise singing, literally worshiping Tinubu, instead of telling Nigerians, this is how we are going to tackle security. Come on.
These so-called Lakura or whatever you call them, they are making a mistake. Nobody ever dares Tinubu and win. Nobody. They have come at a wrong time. Nobody has ever defeated Tinubu. And you are going to be defeated, and we'll kick you out of Nigeria. This is a Nigeria of 2024. And this is a Nigeria where I can assure you the critics will be quiet, one after the other.
Now, let's conclude with the interview of Prof. on how we find ourselves in this mess.
We are in a crisis of institutions and of governance, which does not begin with INEC. It begins with the judiciary. Under our constitution, sovereignty belongs to the people. That's section 14. However, right now, the judges have toppled the people. It is a judicial coup in the name of, under the guise of rule of law. I actually call it the rules of law. Rules of law, not rule of law. By which the judiciary has progressively expropriated from the people the right to determine who governs us and under what platform. And so instead of winning the votes of the people, what they now do is they buy out judges. It began about 2003, 2004. They now buy out judges. The first person who was able to prove that you could do this, there were two of them. One was Alphonse Wike in Anambra North senatorial seat, in Anyamelum, House of Reps, 2003. The other was Ugochukwu, Anambra South Senate, 2003. That model then progressively caught fire. And now, judges, bare majorities of judges, install who wins our elections and who loses. So, all of us here, to the extent that every one of us is Nigerian, are irrelevant. The person who has mastered the art of purchasing judicial outcomes is the man who is currently the minister for the FCT. And the most improbable judicial outcomes. And so what the article did was to trace in a factual manner, just using the law reports, no adjectives. As a matter of fact, beginning with his ascension to the chairmanship of the Obio Akpo local government area in 1999, to trace the story of how at every point in time, every election involving Wike has been decided by judges, and he has been the winner. And the judgments look ridiculous at every point and at every turn. And then you then match that up with his generosity to judges. And the correlation is spooky. And don't take my word for it. There is now an investigative report that has just come out, issued by Citizen Gavel, which is a group that focuses on digital information aggregation based on factually available material on the judiciary. And that report is damning in terms of what it concludes about Wike's methodology in relation to the judiciary. So the expression wicked judges is simply to say the man has acquired the judiciary as part of his personal accessory. And as I've said this afternoon, Nigeria now has officially, under the doctrine of separation of powers, we've got three arms of government, right? The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. The legislature is headed by Godswill Akpabio. The executive is headed, we all know, by Bola Tinubu. And by common consent, the appearance now is that the judiciary is headed by Nyesom Wike. That is why the judiciary now is full of wicked judges. And that judiciary has been very fully Nyesomized, which is really what you saw with the commissioning event, the turning of the sword event for that judicial housing project in Abuja.
So you cannot, as the head of the FCT, be dishing out gifts, cars, and houses to judges in the Federal High Court, in the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. That's number one. Number two, you have cases before these courts on the theory of equality before the law. You cannot be seen to be giving cars or houses to judges who are going to determine your cases. And that is why the autonomy of the judiciary has now been constitutionalized.